Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Gaspard, your network engineer with Smart Technology Consulting. So we are going to uh, achieve this video that we started with securing Jerry Tunnel with VRF. So in the previous one, we explained the concept of the Jerry Tunnel, the concept of the VRF, and what IPSec is, and how we put these things together in order to build a secure tunnel that can permit two remote sites to communicate over the internet securely. So in today's video, we're going to have a lab. We're going to build this infrastructure on real devices, so not on simulators. So I have a set of real devices there. I have two routers that are going to simulate the internet, and two layer 3 switches that are going to simulate the site edge. So this is the design that we're going to build. On site A, we're going to use a 3650, Catalyst 3650 over there. We'll raise it at layer 3 so it can route. And it's going to be the gateway for the site 1, site A, 192.168.10.0 subnet. And it's going to communicate with the internet router, what we call the IR, on that area, representing the ISP, on the subnet 64.72.110.0. On site B, we're going to have another Catalyst 3650, a layer 3 switch. That will be the gateway of the 192.168.20.0. And then it's going to communicate with the internet router, ISP, on 130.5.74.0/24. As you can see, the upper links are going to be public, so we're going to internet. And between these ISPs, we have the 50.50.50.0 representing all the public internet that we have over there. The most important thing here is that the IR, which are the internet routers, will have no idea about the private IPs that we have below. And then between the two sites, we're going to build, the tunnel on the point-to-point that is 172.20.10.252. On site A is going to be 253, and on site B is going to be 254. That tunnel is going to be secured using IPSec, and is going to be isolated using VRF. So let us go and build this infrastructure. Here we have, as I told you, we have these devices that are there, and these are the configurations that we're going to run. So we're going to start by building the internet, this area, the internet routers, so that we can have the continuation of service on internet. So what we want to do is ISPA, we open it. Oh, I think I missed the password. It's super secret. There you go. And I called it PHQ, so I'm going to call it ISP A. So let us do that, and we're going to exit so that we have it clean. ISP B, same thing. Oops. Okay. Oh, all right. So I see. So let me do it again. There you go. yeah, ISPB. So this is ISPB. Okay, so what we want to do now is we start by opening ISPA, and then we open the ISPB. So if we want to see show IP interface brief, you see we have all the interfaces that are not assigned. We have only this management interface that we're using to connect to it. If we go to ISPB, this is B, sorry. If we go to ISPA, same thing here, right? So nothing is assigned. So the first thing we're going to do is to build the internet. It's just as simple as that. You know, configure the interfaces, these interfaces, and create a route so that this router can see this end. That is, internet router on site A can see the site B public interface, and vice versa, because those public interfaces must be reachable so that we can build the tunnel. So that's why we have this configuration that we're going to run. Copy here. So this is ISPA, so that's it. And this is B. We're going to take the B and we set it there. That's it. So now if we do show IP interface brief, sorry, show IP interface brief, so you can see we have right, we have this that is up and up, right? Let us do it again. You see we have the interfaces that are up here, especially these two, right? And if we go to the other one, do the same thing, show IP interface brief, and you see we have the two interfaces that are up. So that's all we have to do with this. And now let's go and do the real work. Site A. So we log to site A. Careful, make sure you type it correctly. And site B. So these are just basic setup that I put in order to secure the login. There is nothing. Show run. You see, there is not a lot. There is almost nothing. See, nothing is configured. As simple as that. If we do on this one, show run. See, there's nothing configured so far. So we just set up the AAA so that we can secure the communication in it. So the first step will be to create the tunnel. We're on site A here. So what we'll do is, first of all, we elevate the level of the switch. We bring it to level 3 so that it can be routing traffic. Then we create the VLAN 10, give it a name, and the interface VLAN 10, which is going to be the default gateway of that VLAN. We give it an IP address. We configure the last port to be the upper interface, right? This interface looking up. So we have to turn that interface from switch mode to routed mode and give it an IP address. Then we configure a set of port that we have to assign to the VLAN 10 that we created before building the tunnel. So let us do it. You can pause and look at the configuration, right? So we can do this, copy. we come to site A, and that's it. We have site B, right? That is exactly same thing, but there we have VLAN 20. So what we're going to do there concerns VLAN 20 instead of VLAN 10. So we copy that, and that's it. Now the good thing here is from this point, this cannot see this. I mean, the internet router cannot see the inside of the site. But from site A, we can see site B through the tunnel because the tunnel is built. Let us see. This is site B. So, and we do show IP interface brief, and we remove the unassigned one. You see the tunnel is down. Why is it down? Because we have not yet told this router how to see this interface. I mean, the router on site A does not know how to reach the public interface of a router on site B. So if we set up a default route on both sides, the tunnel is going to be up. Let us do it, but we'll remove that later. So IP route, and here the default gateway to get there is going to be the interface of the ISP. So 64.72.110.1, right? So, this is router B. So on router B, the default gateway is going to be 130.5.74.1. So that's what we want to do. Make sure we don't do the confusion. 130.5.74.1. And then we go to site A. We'll do the same thing. IP route. Here is 64.72.110.1. Right? Now, when we do this, let's go back there. You see how it was here? Let us try to run the same command. Do you see the difference? The tunnel was down here, but when we create the route that goes through internet, the tunnel goes up because the two sites can see each other on the public face. That's what the internet is useful for. Now that we have that possibility that this site A on public interface can see site B on public interface, we can now have fun. Let's go and do the second phase, which is to isolate. First of all, let us remove this route. Right? We don't need that default route because things are going to happen. Exactly. So we take this one out, and here we take this one out as well. If we do show IP interface brief, exclude on my side, you see the tunnel is still up, but it's going to go down because, of course, if you try to ping, the other end is not going to work. What we want to do is phase 2, isolate the tunnel with the VRF, right? So this is what we're going to do. We have to create the VRF. That's create the virtual router inside the router. We create it, and then we configure the tunnel to work inside that VRF. So it's going to leave the global routing table and go inside the VRF. Then we have to reconfigure it, and we will join all the interfaces that partake in this communication to be members of that VRF. That's what we're going to do here. And then we'll set up the default route inside the VRF. So you can pause and look at the configuration. So let us copy this. So this is site B. So we have to go to site B. Make sure you're on the right site. So we put it there. That's it. Right? Then we go to site A and the VRF. You see, when we create the VRF, we give it a name. And that name is what we're going to reference everywhere. So this is site A, and we put it there. If we do show IP interface brief, you see the tunnel is up. The tunnel is up because now they're talking within the VRF. We are now sure. Let us try to ping. So do ping. And now if you want to ping, you have to ping within the VRF. VRF site A. Remember when we created it, we give the name. And then we want to ping the other edge, right, of the tunnel, which is 172.20.10.254. As you can see, it replies. It replies. Very easy. Now that we have the tunnel that is built and isolated, let us secure it with IPSec. For that purpose, since we are in site A, and it's the same thing, right? It's parallel. We have to create the pre-shared key that is going to be used to negotiate the ISACamp. So we set up the keyring where and we preset that it's going to be part of the VRF. The key is this. So this is the key here, and the pre-shared address, that is the target. Who am I going to exchange my key with? We put it here. And then we create the policy. In this policy, we set up the authentication method, which is a pre-shared key. So it means I'm going to talk to my peer and give him this key. And he has to send me the same key so that we have the same key, and then we know that we are good to go. Then we create a profile, an ISACamp profile, where we apply that key, and we match the IP address of the next peer. It has to be exactly this. Don't worry about this. It has to be exactly. So we're going to remove these internet routers. We just remain with the sites. So it has to be exactly that, right? When we, after creating that profile, that is going to use the key, right? The keyring that we have here. We then create a transform set. A transform set is going to be the method of encrypting the packet, right? You have to know IPSec works in two phases. The first one is ISACamp, one where we negotiate. And the second phase is where we're going to encrypt the traffic. So that's what we create here. Reason why, after that we create the profile, the IPSec profile, where we put the transform set, so the encryption that we want to use, and the ISACamp profile, that is the negotiation of the tunnel. And that's the profile that we apply to the tunnel to secure it. So we're going to run all these set. This is for site A. Technically, you will see when I run it on one side, it should take the tunnel down. So, so if I do show IP interface brief, we exclude unassigned stuff. You see exactly what I was saying. Oops. The tunnel went down. Do you know why? It's because one end is encrypted, the other one is not. So they can't talk to each other. Reason why, we have to apply the same situation on the other end. Show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. Here it still shows that it's up, but it's up on one side and down on the other one. So we want to complete with site B. Site B, we take the same, encryption stuff, IPSec, and we apply it here. Now let us go and see what we have on site A. You see what I'm saying here? The tunnel just came back up. Now, if we want to do the ping, okay, so ping VRF site, this is A 172.20.10.254. As you can see, it's working. So the tunnel is built and it's secure. Now, how can we make sure that we have these two sites exchanging information? We're going to do two things. I'm going to bring back ISPA. So this one is going to be here, right? So what we want to do is that on these two sites, we're going to create, OSPF. We're going to configure OSPF, and we will advertise only the inside interface and the tunnel interface. That is the 192.168 stuff and the 172.20.10 stuff. We are not advertising, anything going on internet. We have that here. Let's go to site. Which one are we here? A. So we're going to create a router here inside the VRF, and then we'll advertise the interface going down in the site subnet and the interface going to the tunnel. That's it. Before doing that, to show IP route, you will see that here there is no OSPF route. Oh, VRF site A. You see, the global routing table is empty. But when I come here, we have no OSPF route. Everything is local, connected, and then static. That's it. If we go to the other one, it's going to be the same thing. Sorry. IP route VRF site B. Nothing. Now let's see what we have here. We are on site A. So we go back to site A and we set up this. We go to site B. We set up that. Now, let's go back and check the routing table this time. Okay, so show IP route VRF site B. Do you see this? We have an OSPF tunnel route here. Site B says, if you want to reach 192.168.10, go through the tunnel that is here. Let us ping VRF site B 192.168.10.1. You see, we have a result, which means from here, from site B, we can see 192.168.10.0. But can we see it from internet? Let's go and verify. So this is the internet router here. So ping 192.168.10.1. Internet does not know how to get inside. So as you can see, we have created an extension of our infrastructure by securely linking two of our sites using GRE that we isolated on the VRF and we secured with the IPSec. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up below and subscribe if you're new here, because we're going to release more videos. I hope this is going to help you either in understanding or in your activities, because remember, we want you to be smart every time. See you on the next video. Bye bye.